Hello students, I hope you are doing good. Prior to this, we have seen the resonance effect and inductive effect in detail. In today's video, we'll discuss about the hyperconjugation. Hyperconjugation is an important part in general organic chemistry, and it helps us to understand the behavior of molecules with respect to its structure and what is inductive effect, what is the resonance effect and hyperconjugation effect. They are helping us to understand the possible reactions for a given structure of a molecule. So let us start with the today's discussion. What is hyperconjugation? Hyperconjugation, the definition is defined like this: the delocalization of sigma electrons, and this is in a, we can say it's in a conjugation with the pi network, or the is a network of pi or p orbitals. This is also called a modified resonance. So what is the concept that we are getting from this definition? This definition is giving us idea about the involvement of sigma electrons, and that is in the conjugation with the pi network. We have seen in the resonance there is involvement of pi electrons, and here in this case there is involvement of a sigma electrons. So there is just a marginal change, that in the case of resonance we are dealing with the resonance of pi electrons with the pi cysteine, and in the case of hyperconjugation it is the involvement of sigma electrons with the pi cysteine. Therefore it is called as a modified resonance. The name is also giving us hint that this effect is something different, something exceptional, and we are observing that one of the contributory structures or the Levy structures that we are writing, which is missing 1,2 electron bond, and that is because, as it is also called to be a no bond resonance. At the same time, this is also said to be a extraordinary effect. This effect is also called as the Baker and Nathan effect. That is, in the respect of scientists who have observed this effect, and they compared this effect with the inductive. About the hyperconjugation, it is said that this is a more effective, more stronger than the inductive effect. So all these concepts will recollect using the simple example of a toluene. As toluene is nothing but it is a derivative of benzene when the CH3 group is attached to the phenyl skeleton. In the case of phenyl, as we know, all the carbons they are aligned in a way so that the p orbitals they are parallel to each other. If you are having the CH3 and one of the CH bond is shown like this, so this is exactly having a orientation that the CH bond is parallel with this. So if we are going with the mechanism of the definition it is provided by, for a hyperconjugation, that the CH bond or this sigma electrons, if they are showing a resonance with this, it will form the species where the carbon will have a negative charge and the positive charge it will form on a hydrogen. So the involvement of sigma electrons, delocalization of sigma electrons of CH bond, and it is forming a ions over here. The ions are, the carbon is forming a negative charge, carbon is getting the negative charge, and the hydrogen is getting the positive charge. And in this way, we can show a resonance of this. And showing the resonance of this, the structures that we are getting, these structures they are called hyperconjugative structures. In hyperconjugative structures, or the structures they are derived through the hyperconjugation effect. You are observing at the end when this will come back and get the original position by again abstracting the H plus. So this is the involvement of sigma electrons to delocalize as a pair over a system, and it is introducing the electrons through the hyperconjugation effect. And as this effect is different than the inductive in the context, as we have seen in the case of inductive effect, there is a term that we are calling the partial delocalization. Therefore, this is giving the delta positive and the delta negative. But these charges are very small. these charges are very small. While in the case of hyperconjugation, as we are observing through this effect, through this mechanism, there is actual formation of the charges, that is the positive and the negative. And if there is involvement of formations, of course this effect will be more effective. This will be more stronger than the inductive. So in this case, through this representation, we are getting the idea about how hyperconjugation works. It is involvement of sigma electrons, and it is conjugation with the pi system to form the negative and the positive charges. And the formation of negative charge over a system will make the system more electron rich compared to the effect that we have seen in the case of inductive. So this is the actual examples, and through this we can get the exact idea about the applications of hyperconjugation effect in different reactive intermediates in organic mechanism as such. So one thing that we can get through this, that is related to the electron demanding effect. What is the meaning of this? If you are having the reactive intermediates like a carbocation over here, where the carbon is surrounded by 6 electrons, and if it is a 6 electrons, it means this carbon is associated with the incomplete octet. So the octet of this carbon is not complete, and if octet is not complete, of course it will be reactive, and if it is reacting, it will try to get stabilized. What is the possibility? Possibility is through the hyperconjugation that this CH bond is able to donate electrons, and through this it is forming a carbon-carbon species, which is a neutral and that is stable. But at the same time, this is also forming the H plus, and this H plus, which is forming over here, that we need to understand in hyperconjugation that the position of H plus will be fixed. So this will not delocate. So in this way, that one of the CH, it will contribute and it will stabilize this. So if we are taking the example of this tertiary carbocation over here, that this carbon is attached to three CH3 groups, and every CH3 is able to donate electrons through the CH bonds, and there are three CH bonds. So every CH3 will contribute three hyperconjugative structures over here. This will contribute the three hyperconjugative structures. So overall, tertiary butyl cation is able to give electrons through the nine hyperconjugative structures as such. So therefore, we can easily explain the stability of carbocation on the basis of inductive. At the same time, as we have seen earlier, the stability of this carbocation can be assisted with the inductive effect. So wherever we are in need of justification of either the intermediate or reaction, we need to take the help of all the effects together. That is the reason why, as I said, general organic chemistry is the most important part in organic reaction mechanism, where we are applying all the theories together and we'll try to justify the things with the number of terminologies. Let it be inductive, let it be resonance, let it be hyperconjugation. But we are trying to explain the things with the maximum justifications. So the stability of this carbocation can be given on the basis of inductive as well as hyperconjugative. But the more important thing is, as we have just discussed, hyperconjugative is a more stronger effect compared to inductive. So both the explanations can justify the stability of carbocation over here. Another example that we can take, and it is a radical. Radical carbon, as we know, this is surrounded by the 7 electrons. But again, in this case, the carbon is with the incomplete octet. And if it is with the incomplete octet, it will be reactive. And if it is a reactive, it will try to get stabilized. How it will get stabilized? Again, this radical is having a vicinity of CH bond, and this homolytic cleavage homolytic cleavage will lead to have carbon-carbon bond with the formation of hydrogen radical. And again, in this case, we are observing whatever the radical is forming over here, it will have its fixed position, it will not move from this, so that we can show. For example, in this particular radical, we are having the connectivities of 3 CS3, and every CS3 is able to donate electrons through the 3 sigma 3 sigma electrons, a pair of electrons. So all the CS3, they will contribute three such hyperconjugative structures, and overall tertiary butyl radical over here is able to show the stabilization through the 9 hyperconjugative structures as such. So either a carbocation or the carbanion ion, as we are saying here, or the radical, both are stabilized with the hyperconjugative structure, and this is a direct application of hyperconjugative structure in organic synthesis. This effect, or if we want to compare that out of the CH and CC, which is more dominating or which is playing a more role, if we are having the probabilities that the CH and CC bonds, they are able to donate electrons, then which bond which will easily give electron. So in this case, Baker and Nathan, they have performed the experiment on different derivatives of benzyl bromide. This is a benzyl bromide functionality, and the change is with respect to alkyl group over here. So they have started this reaction on this substrate, which is varying the R group. The R group here is nothing but it is with the different alkyl groups. It is with the different alkyl groups, and these alkyl groups, it is nothing but the methyl, ethyl, isopropyl, and the tertiary butyl. So if you are observing these different connectivities, they are giving us the idea. All these connectivities, they are showing two effects. It may impart a plus I effect, as well as they are able to give the hyperconjugation. And here we are doing this experiment to get the idea about the CH versus CC bonds, which of the bond is more contribute. If you are looking towards this connectivity, then we are observing as we are moving from CS3 to tertiary butyl group. Tertiary butyl group is with the highest level of inductive effect, while this is less in the case of CS3. But if we are thinking in the context of hyperconjugation effects of CH, hyperconjugation effects of CH, then we are observing this is giving a 3 CH bonds and 3 hyperconjugative structures over here. The CH2, it is associated with the 2 CH bonds, that is a 2 hyperconjugation structures. In this case, this isopropyl group, it is associated 1 CH, that is a 1 hyperconjugative effect by the CH functionality. And in the case of tertiary butyl group, it is having 0 CH bonds. Okay, and of course there are the 3 CC bonds. So here we are making a distinction that in the case of tertiary butyl group, whether it will donate electrons through the CC bond or the CH bond. So that is the reason why the different R groups are selected. When this reaction was performed, it is expected that this is passing through the mechanism, so that with the donation of electrons, this bromine will get displaced, and we are getting this reactive species. And this reactive species will be attacked, or it will be trapped by the given nucleophile over here. This nucleophile is a pyridine. It will attack over this carbon, and this cysteine will give the product. The observations are we are getting the highest rate in the reaction when the CS3 is a substituent. And when it is compared with the tertiary butyl group, it is observed it is less in comparison with the CS3. So if this thing is explained on the basis of inductive, then this is not justified. At the tertiary butyl group, it is having the higher inductive effect, but this is not reflected in a rate of reaction. While the CS3 group, even though it is having a low inductive effect, but this is showing the highest rate of reaction. That means this particular thing that we are expecting at the donation of electrons and formation of this intermediate, which is assisting the reaction, which is observed in the case of methyl functionality over the tertiary butyl group. It indicates that donation of electrons in the cysteine by the CH3 group is the maximum. Why it is a maximum? So that if you are comparing the CH bonds versus the CC bond in the tertiary group, here is the observation that the CH bonds, they are easily contributing electrons and the cysteine is assisting the reaction mechanism. So overall, we can get the idea that the CH bonds, as in the case of CS3, they are contributing more electrons compared to the CC, as in the case of tertiary butyl group. So this is proof that the CH group is dominating. It is giving more electrons compared to CC. That is the one thing. Second thing, it is giving, or it is setting the idea about the rate of reactivities or order of reactivities of these compounds if having the connectivities like a CS3, ethyl, and the isopropyl group. And it is confirmed that the CS3, that is showing the highest rate of induction of electrons, and that is because of higher contributory structures of hyperconjugation. So this overall experiment gives us a very important outcomes that the hyperconjugation effect, if we are comparing between the CH and CC, CH bonds, they are easily donating electrons compared to CC. That is the first thing. And second thing is, in this case, if we are thinking about the inductive versus hyperconjugation effect is definitely, it is a dominating over inductive effect, and that drives the reaction mechanism. In addition to this one, another experiment was performed, and this experiment was again to prove it, the dominance of the inductive effect over the hyperconjugation as such. And this is also giving us the idea how the hyperconjugation effect is orienting the outcome of the reaction. This is also giving the idea about the unique reduced selective outcome of this reaction. What is the meaning of this? We'll explain with this example. Here the example is the substrate is the toluene and we are doing a nitration reaction. If you are thinking about the toluene and as we are connecting this with the inductive effect, as we know the inductive effect is gets transmitted to the sigma bonds and it gets decreased over the distance. So if this is the ortho position, if this is the meta position and this is the para position, as we know, the effect is going in this order, that the ortho will have a highest inductive effect compared to meta than para. So if we are expecting that the reaction mechanism is driven by the inductive effect, then what should be the product? The product should be in a way that the ortho product should be the highest, next should be the meta, and next should be the para. But when the reaction was performed, it was observed that the ortho and para products, they are formed with the uh, more contribution, or they are with the more proportion. And this meta product, it was formed with the very less amount. As almost we can say this product is below 5%. So this is in a very small quantity. And these two products, as of course the ortho, it will be the major and this will be the minor compared to ortho, and this will be very less. If this observation cannot be explained with the inductive effect, and in this case the hyperconjugation effect is coming into the picture, it is coming to help towards the outcome of this reaction. What is the observation over here? If the hyperconjugation effect is observed in this, the ortho and the parasites, they are becoming a electron rich. As we are seeing, the conjugation increases the electron density at ortho and para positions. So therefore, the observation that we are getting over here against the formation of the ortho and the para, this can be explained on the basis of hyperconjugation. So the outcome of this simple experiment gives us idea that the hyperconjugation is a more dominating, it is a dominating effect. That is the first thing. And second thing, it is giving the idea about the regioselectivity. Wherever we are having the alkyl substitutions, they are giving the ortho and para substituted compounds over a meta. So this is just a donation of electrons and formation of the negative charges at ortho and para position through through a hyperconjugation effect more dominantly than inductive effect and getting the desired compounds. Again, this is extended with this example. We need to understand this concept completely so that wherever we are having the possibilities of different substitutions, we can exactly mention the unique reduced selectivity for that substitution. And for that reason, this example is very important. As this is the derivative of benzene, and we are seeing that this is connected to the two different groups. This is connected to the tertiary butyl group, and this is connected, or this substitution is the CS3. As suppose we want to describe this connectivities, as we know the tertiary butyl group is a bulkier, or that creates the steric problem, and the CS3, which is a small compared to the tertiary butyl group, and this is description with respect to the steric factor. Another factor that we need to understand about the tertiary butyl group, it is with the zero CH bond hyperconjugation, but there are again three CC bond connectivity. So suppose we are thinking about the hyperconjugation through CC bonds. So there are three CC bonds but zero CH. In the case of CS3, we are having three CH bond connectivity. So it can contribute the three hyperconjugative structures through the CH bonding. If we are performing this reaction, then this can be related with the outcomes. If we are seeing the tertiary butyl group is contributing stronger or it is dominating, then we should get the product where the ortho substitution has to be off, or it has to be with the tertiary butyl group. That means if the tertiary butyl group is dominating, it is giving more electrons. So the electrophile should come to the ortho to tertiary butyl group. If the CS3 group is dominating, it is giving more electrons, then we should get the introduction of electrophile ortho to CS3 group. This is the expectation. But what is the observation? Observation is we are getting the substitution of nitro group at ortho to CS3 and not ortho to tertiary butyl group. Few of the people, they may say that this reaction mechanism, as we know, it is dominated by the two factors, that's the electronic factor and the steric factor. Some of you may say that this tertiary butyl group is having a bulkiness, so the bulkiness of this will avoid the introduction of the electrophile at ortho to this. Yes, of course, this is also accepted justification. But at the same time, if you are thinking about the contribution of electronic factor, as we have discussed earlier also, CH bonding is more contributing compared to the CC bonding. So here in this case, the CS3 will give electrons more efficiently than the tertiary butyl group. So therefore, more electron density at the ortho to CS3, and that drives this mechanism so that we are getting the introduction of NO2 at ortho to CS3 compared to tertiary butyl group. So suppose we want to give a justification for this outcome or the observed thing in this reaction mechanism, that can be explained on the basis of better electron donation by CS3 compared to tertiary butyl group because of three hyperconjugative structures of CH bond compared to tertiary butyl group. At the same time, the steric factor or the contributory factor or the steric control of this reaction is also acceptable. So we can explain this with the help of both the things, steric factor as well as the electronic factor, where the electronic factor concept can be explained on the basis of hyperconjugation. One important thing that is highlighted by the Baker and Nathan, they have shown that if we are comparing the two things, in this case, this is related to the inductive effect explanation and this is related to the hyperconjugation. As we are seeing over here, as this methyl group is there, as we are substituting these hydrogens by the CS3, the donation of electrons is increasing. As we are having the more alkyl groups over here, the donation is increasing. That means the inductive effect is increasing in this manner. or in this direction. But suppose we are having the same connectivities as they are more electron donating in the case of inductive effect, and we are having this connectivity to the double bond. Then what we are observing, the good electron donating effects in the inductive effect, they are becoming a poor electron donating substitutions in a hyperconjugation. Why it is so? Because in the case of CS3 connectivity is contributing three hyperconjugating structures. In the case of this ethyl group, it is contributing two hyperconjugation structures. In the case of isopropyl, it is contributing only one hyperconjugation structure, while in the case of tertiary butyl, it is imparting a zero hyperconjugative structures. So whatever effect that we are seeing in the inductive effect as such, it is getting exactly reverse in the hyperconjugation. And this peculiar observation noted by the Baker and Nathan that shown or that opened a new concept in organic chemistry, that is hyperconjugation. So this is very crucial part that we need to understand the comparison between the inductive versus the hyperconjugation effect. The effect of electron donation in inductive and the hyperconjugation in this particular example is exactly reverse. Many of the time we are coming across a statement that the more hyperconjugative structures are, more stable is the alkene. What is the meaning of this? How we can use this? By taking the simple example over here, we are having a basic molecule that is ethene, and we are doing the substitutions over here that we are substituting the hydrogens by the methyl groups. So we are doing this as we are moving from left to right. We are substituting the hydrogens with the methyl groups as the initially this is a mono substituted, this is a di substituted, this is a tetra substituted, and this is a tri substituted, and final one is a tetra substituted. And accordingly, we are finding there is a different number of hyperconjugating structures. This is the one CS3, so this will contribute three hyperconjugation. This is the associated with the two CS3, so this will contribute six. In this way also we can count the number of hyperconjugative structures in other, and we are getting in the final structure where we are having the all connectivities of CS3, it will give give the 12 hyperconjugative structures as such. And as the concept is suggesting, as we are having a more hyperconjugative structure, the alkene becoming a more stable. What is the meaning of this? How we can prove it? By just doing hydrogenation studies. As we know, whenever we are forming the bond, the amount of energy is released. So if you are seeing all the energetics of this, that we are doing hydrogenation of these alkenes, and we are getting the different energies like this, E1, E2, E3, E4, and E5. So amount of energy release in all these alkenes, if we are relating this, then we'll get the minimum amount of energy is released by particular substrate that has to be stable. And it is observed that this particular species, which is associated with the 12 hyperconjugative structure, it was found to be the most stable because it is releasing minimum energy. That means this molecule is associated with the minimum energy, and it is with the highest stability. And the stability is imparted by the maximum number of hyperconjugative structures. So overall, hyperconjugative structures or hyperconjugation as such, it is giving us idea about how the sigma electrons, they are coming in the system, they are coming in the conjugated system, and it is stabilizing the structures. This effect is applied toward this justification or giving the reasoning against the stability of carbocations, against the stability of radicals. This is giving us an idea about if we are having the substituted alkyl benzenes, then these alkyl benzenes, they are giving the special orientation in their product. The regioselectivity or regioselective outcome of the reactions can be explained using the hyperconjugation. At the same time, it is giving the stability of alkenes. So overall, I hope this content is useful to you. I would be more happy if I'm receiving the compliments from your side, the comments from your side regarding the content. If you are really feeling that this content is useful to you, I request you share the channel with others and subscribe. If you are feeling that you want some modification in existing content, you have some addition, I request you can write on my email which is provided. At this moment, thank you so much. Take care.